Blondes, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Oh well, we've met in many cities around the world, but it's nice for you to join us here in Jeddah.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, well, we'll start in conversation, I think, from the beginning, because I was thinking we were talking about our daughters earlier. You know, you kind of have that sense.
Well, my mom, you know, sort of, because she had so many children, I'm one of 4 children, and I think she really had to, I think in many ways, give up that dream in order to kind of be more around for us. But I don't know if she thought I was going to be an actress, because I think the industry can be hard on people. You need a helmet for it. It's not for the faint of heart. So I don't know if I grew up with a sort of rose-tinted view of, oh, I want to be an actress, and this is my dream, and this is my purpose. I think I had seen that it had been hard on my mom. So I think I didn't have this burning ambition for it, which is crazy for me to say that now, because I truly just love it so deeply, and am so protective of this life that it's given me, and I'm so grateful. So I don't know, I was quite a shy kid. I had a really bad stutter as a kid, so I didn't speak that readily. So to end up in a job where I would have to speak was sort of just completely out of reach for me.
But it does help, and I know you work a lot with speech therapy.
A myriad of different things in any given moment. And so if I can do that in a scene, in a film, and there's stuff to talk about, and people have things to discuss, then I've done enough, I think, then I'm happy.
Another question? The gentleman here in the brown jacket, please.
Big question. I mean, I think I've grown up. You know, I think we all are shape-shifted by our experiences, by our occupations, by the people that walk in and out of your life. You know, they've all in some way collectively enhanced me or shifted me. I'm aware that I've become probably more fiercely protective of my privacy. I would say that's the thing I'm aware of that's happened. As you become more exposed, inevitably do more movies, you'll become more exposed. I think that I find great joy in very, very, very simple things, because I think so much of my job involves this taking flight that I need the balance. So I think I'm probably better at balance now, and more uncompromising about balance. But I owe everything to this line of work. I owe everything. You give, you get. And I think about that a lot, about what you put out into the world, how you are, what you give out to people. It's so simple, but I really am mindful of it. I think about it. And there's a Rumi quote that I love so much, and I think about this too, and it's all about acceptance, really, and it's out beyond ideas of right doing and wrong doing. There's a field, and I'll meet you there. And I think about that. I think both quotes are really about acceptance and not judging yourself, anyone else around you, and I guess those are the things I think about most when you ask me that question.
I think that's why your co-stars love you so much. No shyness. Is that what happened after the agent came to see you and told you have to do this? You decided to pursue it, or you were reluctant as well?
I was both. I mean, I kind of wanted to give it a go. I was 17. I wanted to finish high school, and then I said to myself, all right, I'm going to give it a go for a year, and if it doesn't work out, I'm going to go to university. Mm-hmm. And quite quickly, I got cast in a play with the amazing Dame Judi Dench, and it was just Oh, it was just the best launch into how fun this industry can be, and she's so graceful and silly and warm and doesn't take any of it seriously, so it was a really influential experience working with her.
And the start of realizing that actually you learn every time you have a new experience, a stage experience, a film experience.
Oh, I'm still learning. I have not filled up my cup yet. I still feel absolutely terrified before I start a film. I love that feeling now. I used to be very scared of it, but I don't mind the terror. I think it's your body, yourself preparing to do something great. You should feel scared. And I like it when a character is challenging, when they're out of reach, where I don't know how to play them yet. I like the work very much. So I think every time I'm scared, I think I've probably become used to the idea that I'll get there somehow. And I know that now, whereas in the beginning I didn't know that. It was scarier.
After the West End was, those have their own vision, their own way to work. How much does it change the acting exercise for you when, you know, every director is like that, and then you have to accommodate to who they are but who you are at work?
I mean, it's sort of all part of the dance, and I don't mind that dance really, as long as, I don't mind what someone's vision is, as long as it's a collaborative atmosphere, you know, because I think I'm not just interested in the acting now. I do want to have, and I do have a lot of say in the script and ideas of how to expand upon a scene or a moment or a storyline, or I don't know if there's issues with the third act, I will want to offer resolves for it. I may not always be right, but I want it to be an open dialogue, you know, to see which idea could win and could work. So
you want to do it one day?
I don't know if I want to direct one day, but I am producing more, and I do love building worlds and building out stories and the ideas of it. And I'm happy to rewrite a scene. I don't think I want to write an entire script.
You never know. If you pick one song and listen to it continuously.
What would that song be? One of the first films I remember my mum showing me was Shane. It was that amazing Western, Shane. It was actually a big inspiration for the show I did, The English.
Have you done a Western?
Yeah, The English was,
yes,
it was a show.
I've done a Western, the TV show.
Yeah. So that was one of the first films I remember watching. My father would always go to the video store and come back with the most inappropriate films that he wanted to watch, like Pretty Woman, and he just wanted to see Julia Roberts in Pretty Woman, you know, or like Jaws. You know, I remember seeing Jaws at 8 years old. I should never have been watching it. It is now my favorite film, so I would say those guys are like screen icons for me as well. Oh my gosh, everybody from all of the old school actors, like back in the day, the Joan Crawfords, all of them, but very unique and incredibly such a quiet force of an actor, and a gem. He's one of my favorites. He's a true friend. He is someone who I want to be, I hope we're in each other's lives forever. He's become a true friend, and his amazing wife Yvonne, and yeah, I think that I don't know how he shouldered the colossal weight of Oppenheimer on his then very frail shoulders, because he became so emaciated for the role.
And talk about shy.
Oh my God! No one, if anyone is not made to be famous, it's Cillian Murphy. He is like the last person who should be famous.
Absolutely, you know, comes at it.
So crap at it. He's so bad.
And you know, and the compliments and everything, so that's. But you guys were all basically on the award cycle. So let's look at the award cycle, and you know.
I think because you have trust with someone, it just allows the scenes to take flight, and there's a sort of secret language. And I feel that with Matt, I feel that with Cillian, definitely felt that with Dwayne, because it was just easy. It was just so easy, even though the scenes were incredibly hardcore and very difficult to get over. Some of them, they were very intense, but I think because we had each other and someone like Benny, who is so positive and effervescent as a person, it allowed us to kind of sail through the struggles of shooting some of those scenes.
Oh, now I can't wait to see it.
I'm excited to see it, for sure. And it was so simple. I was like, how has this not been done before? And then I think just the world he built out around it was amazing. And I just saw that he had this completely clear vision for it. And that was comforting. But I don't think he even knew what he was capable of as a director before that film. I think he didn't quite know just the visual language abilities he had, you know.
And I think these films are the best. You don't have the expectation of the, you know, big blockbuster success, and then all of a sudden it's like a storm.
Yeah,
right?
and it felt that way. It felt like a storm. It was, you know, that it started as, it was made for $17 million. We shot it in 6 weeks, and we took it to South by Southwest, which is such an amazing film festival, and the reaction was crazy. Like, I remember it was like a rock concert, the reaction to that film. And it spread like quickfire after it. The people writing about it and how brilliant social media can be and places like that. And so by the time it came out, it just was like this. From things you've experienced, and you've sponged up everything, every encounter with everyone. And I think acting gives that a space to come out and a space to be released in some way. But I do see it as a parallel life.
Absolutely is. And then after that, you get a call, and then someone calls you and says, you know, would you like to play Mary Poppins? We have to upload this first because it's fun. I'm sorry, yes, I know she is. So, hello, la la la, would you like to play Mary Poppins? How do you react?
Terror, again, just like complete terror, because, I mean, it was with Rob Marshall, who is my dear friend, who I did Into the Woods with.
Exactly, so already a musical film.
Already was well, but I think with Rob, there's like niche, just niche. I think just my mother saw it.
Yeah, exactly, and then maybe her friend. Exactly. Tell us about, first of all, the expectations of the film. Did you expect it to be that much of a turning point for you particularly?
I mean, honestly, I just didn't know anything back then either. I remember my agent calling me on the opening weekend being like, it made this on the opening weekend. I was like, is that good? Like, I didn't know any what? So I think when we were filming it, we were weeping with laughter every day. We thought we were making something funny. It was a joy bomb of an experience. It was amazing, but I didn't know that it would become this thing that would catch fire in the way that it did. And I think it's quoted to me every week now, and I'm so grateful for playing that character who was so insane that it sort of paved the way for people to see me more as a character actor rather than someone who should just be in period dramas. Like a lot of British people are just subjected to wearing a bonnet or a crown at some point.
Articulate and be like.
Yeah. Movie, or it could be something like Oppenheimer. It could be the full spectrum, like the full weather system could happen in any one scene. And I think the key for me is that you've got to work with people who collaborate. Like if you have someone who just rules with an iron fist, whether it's another actor or a director, it can get hard, it can get tricky. I think you need someone who's flexible, who's open, who's interested, generous, and interested in what you might bring. Because I think the best work comes from actors who aren't like straitjacketed by some sort of preconceived idea or by an intimidating atmosphere.
True. So we've spoken about your comedies, your musicals, drama, action films. Is there any genre you feel that you'd like to tackle? Something like, you'd like to experience?
I feel like I've done most of them. What? I don't know actually. I'm not sure.